there was a hunter in the woods, who, after a long day of hunting, was in the middle of an immense forest. It was getting dark, and having lost his bearings, he decided to head in one direction, until he was clear of the increasingly oppressive foliage. After what seemed like hours, he came across a cabin in a small clearing. Realizing how dark it had grown, he decided to see if he could stay there for the night. He approached, and found the door ajar. Nobody was inside. The hunter flopped down on the single bed, deciding to explain himself to the owner in the morning. As he looked around the inside of the cabin, he was surprised to see the walls adorned by several portraits, all painted in incredible detail. Without exception, they appeared to be staring down at him, their features twisted into looks of hatred and malice. Staring back, he grew increasingly uncomfortable. Making a concerted effort to ignore the many hateful faces, he turned to face the wall, and, exhausted, he fell into a restless sleep. The next morning, the hunter awoke. He turned, blinking in unexpected sunlight. Looking up, he discovered that the cabin had no portraits, only windows. In the fall of 1998, a woman's left hand was found buried in a remote portion of New England's Great North Woods. The ensuing investigation quickly centered on a nearby abandoned cabin, which was completely unknown both in official records and among the local population, and whose walls were covered partially with an English-language rant about a woman with no face, and partially with still undeciphered script vaguely reminiscent of the Basque language. After several fruitless months, the still unsolved case was closed, leaving a number of questions unanswered. Why did a later search reveal only undisturbed, decade-old forest where the cabin had once been? Why did several police officers who spent time inside the cabin report disturbingly vivid nightmares involving cannibalism or self-mutilation? And why did many of those nightmares occur long before the hand was discovered? Somewhere in Georgia, back in the 1800s, a poor farmer and his wife were expecting their 5th child. The farmer knew that he and his wife could not provide for this child because the crops had been bad, and he could barely feed his family of 6. When the wife went into labor, the farmer called for the doctor. Unknown to the wife, the farmer and the doctor had already made arrangements to get rid of the baby. Their plan was to take the baby from the room after the delivery and tell the wife that the baby had died during birth. When he left the farmhouse that night, the doctor took the baby to a nearby bridge and dropped him over the side. The wife had never found out what the farmer and the doctor had done. It is said that on a cloudiest night, during a full moon, you can drive your car to Baby Bridge and park it in the center of the bridge's highest point. Get out of your car and sprinkle baby powder in a circle around it. Then get back in your car and turn the engine and lights off for 10 minutes. You will hear the soft sound of a baby crying. When you get out of your car, there will be baby footprints in the circle of powder.